over the last 24 hours, we've actually started to see the crypto market looking a lot better than it has been for the last couple of days. Now, as a result of this, a lot of people are sitting and wondering, is the crash over? And so in today's video, I want to give you a quick update, letting you know my current thoughts, what we're seeing from the market, and what I'm doing as a result of it, depending on if I think that this crash is over or not. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little BTCC or BTC, Solana Suite, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you do sign up on this platform to start trading today, specifically with my link down below, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit $3,000, they're going to give you $300 on the spot to start trading with, and whatever profit you make from it is all yours, no strings attached. It's literally an opportunity to make free gains on a platform that's growing and getting better every single day, that's been around for 13 years. So go down to the link down below and go check that out if you'd like. Now, in order for you to get a clear picture of what's going on now, I need to take you through memory lane. Let's kind of go through what's been going on for the last week throughout this pullback and what we have been saying as this has been happening. Now, all of this starts back on December 17th and December 18th, right up here, as Bitcoin itself was hitting the top side of this ascending channel. Now, as we hit the top side of this ascending channel, what we actually saw was that the liquidation map was showing a ton of people going long on 100x leverage as its price got towards the top side of this channel. Now, I told you in this video right here that that didn't make any sense. And so I said, I am probably done trading crypto for the rest of 2024. Here's why. And my primary reason was just the fact that people were going long on leverage at the top of a channel that had a 90% chance of breaking to the downside, and that didn't make sense to me. And since I'm not someone who likes shorting during a bull market, and I'm not someone who likes selling during a bull market, I was like, I'm done trading until we see something happen. And well, what do you know? Something starts to happen. Over the next day or two, we of course started to see the crypto market really starting to pull towards the downside, coming towards the bottom side of this ascending channel and breaking to the downside of it. Now, after breaking to the downside of it, it did come down to our first breakout zone between $92,000 and $90,000 before bouncing back to the upside. Now, this was what was called a back test, and I told you all not to trust this back test. You can see here in these videos, it was just back to back to back to back. I said, look, a very urgent message for all crypto investors as the market bouncers. Crypto investors, please don't fall for this trap, and this crypto crash might get worse. Here's why. And I was warning you that as we were bouncing right here, this looked like we were going to take this channel and flip it into a resistance point, flip it from a support point to a resistance point. And what do you know? That's exactly what happened. Now, as we're getting closer to the modern day, over the last few videos, I've been telling you all to watch this golden zone very closely. I said, if the crypto market, look, I actually have it. Nope, not that. Let's go back over here. So I said, where is this at? This is crypto's last chance before a bigger crash. The crypto market needs to pump very soon or the crash may get much worse. And we were talking about the fact that this golden zone is going to need to hold the price up. If this golden box does not hold the price up, we're going to be in a spot in which crypto and Bitcoin specifically will start to pull back. At least I believe. I'm under the belief that Bitcoin would pull back towards $86,000, $87,000, $88,000, somewhere towards these lower levels, and very likely drag the rest of the market with it. Now, gladly, what we can see if we go out to the daily charts now is that on the daily charts, this golden zone is still holding up. And as a result of this golden zone holding up, and as a result of this support holding us and stopping us from seeing that bigger crash, we are actually seeing the market start to rally and things are looking pretty damn good. And so now that you have an understanding of what's been going on and how we got here, let's transition a little bit and start talking about, well, okay, well, if the golden zone is holding up and the altcoin market is rallying, are we done? Is the crash over? Well, what I will go ahead and say is that obviously no one knows. I think that's something that we're all aware of. No one knows. But I will say that our odds are getting substantially better. Our odds are getting substantially better. In the previous videos, I told you, based off what I was seeing as we were approaching this golden zone, I thought it was a 65% chance that we did get a correction to the downside, and we had a 35% chance that we would see this market actually start trying to bounce itself back towards the upside. Not great chances and odds for the bulls, but I'm actually under the belief that where we are right now is getting pretty closer, a little bit closer to a coin flip. I would say at this given point, now that we are seeing support hold and we are starting to see that shift in trend on some of the things I'm going to show you in a second, I would actually go to say that it's more like a 55-45, and that is a very, very, very good increase from what we've seen over the last few days. The odds are shifting more in the direction of the bulls, and I like that. Now, let me explain to you why I believe the odds are shifting in the direction of the bulls, and what are some of the key indicators that I'm seeing that could entail that, well, maybe this correction is coming towards an end. Now, Before we do get into that, one thing that I do want to let you know is I know some of the things we're going to talk about in this video may seem a little bit complicated. And if you are simply someone who is either a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, but you're just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, learning all these new tools and indicators and websites and all that stuff, all that I ask from you is you just stick around at the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how you can join our Discord server, where we are seeing people literally generating hundreds of percentages of gains every single day. Even on days like today, 752% gain, 32, 17, 19, 6, 11. It goes on and on and on and on. So if you want to be someone who's learning from a bunch of live streams, workshops, classes, courses, and much more, and turning those lessons into gains, again, just stick around until the end of the video. I'll go fully into depth about what we're doing over in the Discord server. Now, let's move forward, as I mentioned before, into talking about, well, what is going on now? What are the things that I am seeing that are telling me that, well, this crypto crash might actually be coming towards an end? There is still a good sized chance it's not over, right? A 55% chance that we still do pull back here, but that's not terrible. Those are pretty decent odds, especially for the bulls. So the first thing first is that, of course, we are seeing a major establishment of support. This was a very strong support establishment on the 4 hour, and then we have, of course, saw the daily establishment of support here on the golden zone, which is what we look for. I told you, I want to see this golden zone hold the price up, and on the daily charts, that is exactly what we are seeing. We saw the 4 hour wicks below it, but on the 4 hour, we ran into good support, and on the daily, we're holding that golden box perfectly. This is exactly what we want to see if this crypto market is going to give itself a chance. Now, as that is happening, we are seeing the daily MACD, for example, giving us some sort of signs of convergence. Now, this isn't guaranteed that, we are going to, of course, see this actually play out, but we are getting early signs that some bullish momentum is entering into the price, and well, maybe we can start to see that reversal in the actual daily MACD itself. One other thing that we can look at is what is happening on the daily RSI. The daily RSI is starting to scoop upwards a little bit after seeing a pretty strong move all the way back towards the 44 threshold. One thing I do want you to notice is that the 44 threshold is actually, let's go ahead and do that, is where we bottomed out back here. So when we made this previous move right back here, right before we saw this big pump towards the upside, this is the exact level that we bounced off of when the RSI did start coming down towards this level. Again, not guaranteeing that we are going to see it hold again. It doesn't guarantee that we are going to make this move upwards, but it just increases the chances. And that's all I'm explaining to you. Why did the odds go up that this little crash that we've been in is over? So that's from a technical perspective. Another thing from a technical perspective is what we saw from the Bollinger Bands. We went into the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands. History says that when you hit the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands, you very well may be over with the crash. Look right here. The moment we went outside of them, that was the bottom. Back here, these times where we went outside of them for like 2 days, that was the bottom. And so, hey, we just went through the bottom of them here. Maybe there's an odds, maybe there's a chance that, hey, maybe this pullback is over. Maybe we can avoid what I've been concerned about for the last 4 or 5 days. Now, if we go to a fundamental perspective, you can start to see some of the things that I like. Now, there are some things that are concerning me a little bit. And this is the reason, you know what? I'll go back to that. Sorry about that. Let's just focus on, again, why the odds went up first and foremost. Another thing, the daily liquidations. Okay, the daily liquidations are a little bit sketchy, but what I'm actually more focused on is the fact that all those liquidations that we saw at $84, $85, $86, $87,000, they all dried up like crazy. All of them dried up. And the reason why is because the bulls realized that there was a chance we were going back towards 85K, and we saw a huge deleveraging in which people started closing out on their leverage trades and pulling back a little bit because they realized they were being greedy, which is a very good sign. You can actually see that on the 7-day. We saw a huge drying up between $84,000 and $87,000 down there. And also on the 30-day, we saw a huge drying up. There is still a little bit of liquidations, on every single one of these charts around this $89,000 to $92,000 range. So there is a chance we still go back down towards that range, but going much further past that does seem as if it is starting to become less and less likely, all of which is contributing to the thought process that we might not see Bitcoin's price come back towards 85K. Now, as I mentioned before, these are all the reasons why I believe I believe that we are going to see an increase in the likelihood that Bitcoin specifically's crash is over with. But you may start to recognize that I am still saying it's more likely still that we do see Bitcoin's price start going down. I'm not completely convinced that this is completely over and that we're just going to be going completely upwards. And the primary reason behind that is still because what we are seeing from liquidations. You can see there are still a lot of liquidations. 93, 92, 91, $90,000 on the 30-day. On the 7-day, there are still a ton of liquidations around $91.5 thousand. And hell, even on the 1-day, we're seeing a ton of liquidations around $92,000. And my primary thesis is if the whales or the lizard people have the opportunity to liquidate these people in a moment like this, in which the market is easy to drop down, there's no major institutional buying happening outside of, just like BlackRock, which is big, don't get me wrong, but most institutions are off for the holidays. Most retail investors aren't really paying attention. If they have the opportunity to liquidate these people rather easily, why wouldn't they do it? No one can answer that question for me. Why wouldn't they go for those liquidations? And sure, maybe they just won't. That's cool, but that's not usual. They usually want to capitalize on taking as much crypto from you as possible. So in a moment like this, I see no reasonings to why they wouldn't do it. Therefore, I feel like they're going to do it. I think it's a 55% chance. But again, what we are seeing from the market is a good sign. It's a very good sign. I even made a video yesterday. Look, I can go back out here. Boom, right. Here we go. Altcoins hold strong as Bitcoin dumps. What does this mean? And we were talking about the fact that people were maturing. People were starting to actually see growth in terms of their investment psychology. They started pulling back their leverage a little bit. They started holding on bad days. We're starting to see all of these things happening, in which are contributing to the fact that we may not see this market dump much further, but I'm still just not fully convinced. While there are liquidations down here, I think those people will get liquidated. Simple as that. And so until those liquidations aren't there, or until Bitcoin starts making some upward confirmations, I'm still going to be a little bit skeptical. So currently, I'm still not leverage trading at all on the short term, on the midterm. I have some long-term leverage trades still open, and I am still dollar cost averaging into my spot bags. Outside of that, I am not buying anything. I'm just going to let this puppy ride, and we'll just see what happens. But I wanted to give you an update, just letting you know, look, although no one knows, no one on the face of this earth knows whether or not this pullback is over with, the odds of it coming to an end either now or very soon are going higher and higher and higher, which is a good sign for the bulls. This may have been the full reset that we needed to see that could open up the door for the move towards the upside that we've been hoping for, and only time will tell, of course. And so with that in mind, I wanted to just let you know that, and of course over the coming hours and days, I will keep you more and more updated as all of this does play out. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are someone who is simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I want you to check out what we call Tyler Hill's Crypto Vault. This is an educational platform that I've developed with a team of 6 or 7 other coaches, in which we are putting as much value, more information than I've ever seen in one place before. So for example, when you do sign up, you're going to get access to some of the things that I'm buying and selling. For example, these are all the cryptos that I bought a couple of days ago. All of these are up now. You can do the math on that. You can see there's some of the different charts and insights that I'm sharing with them, just advice and guidance and things like that. Another thing, we have daily live shows, things like Crypto Vault Live, Fridays with Frank, Q&As with Cade. We have daily technical analysis reports that go out on all your favorite cryptos, daily fundamental analysis reports on all your favorite cryptos. We have a professional team of traders that is giving their professional trades, their buy and sell signals on a daily basis. You can see here they just locked in a 78% gainer just this morning, which is fantastic. We have executive insights in which our coaches are posting their thoughts and ideas and what they're seeing in this channel. We have TA to go, to where you can request technical analysis reports on whatever cryptos you want. We have TA deep dives on things like Solana, ADA, Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and many more every day. Live trading sessions, executive only classes, executive only live streams, and things like market overviews. We have premium classes on things like Bollinger Bands, the Fibonacci's. We have tips with Tyler, which are 2 to 3 minute long videos. We got beginners courses on leverage trading, technical analysis, and much more. And it goes on and on and on. I'm not going to bore you to death, but it goes on and on and on. So if you want to be able to learn from all of these different classes, courses, workshops, and pieces of value, turn those lessons that you learn into actionable strategies and use those strategies to generate gains like our community is doing right now, with 88% gains, 30%, 300%, 90%, 200%, and much more. All you need to do is go check out that Patreon link down below, guys. You can join in for the cost of a Netflix subscription or even cheaper. $17 a month or $5 a month. It gets you in, and you can start learning today. We did the limit. The executive tier is completely sold out. There's only limited spaces on there, but we will be opening up 3 more spaces on Christmas, so maybe that's something you want to check out. But if you're an intermediate or beginner, just check out the premium or general tier. Those are a great place to start. But if you are more advanced, stay tuned for the executive tier. But with that in mind, again, feel free to go check that out. Don't forget, you can go get that 10% bonus over on BTCC, and keep a very close eye on the market right now, because of course things are getting crazy, and I'll be here every single day updating you through the good, the bad, the ugly. So of course, I hope you have been enjoying today's video, and if you did, please let me know by smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.